This Telugu film is one of the best writing I have seen for a mass film. It is so good that it even takes over the mass, which is a good thing or a bad thing. Let's talk. Hello guys, I'm Nona and today I'm talking about the Telugu vigilante action film Saripodhaa Sanivaaram or Surya Saturday. It's by the actor-actor combo of Nani and Vivek Athreya. Now I couldn't catch this film in theaters because it didn't release near me. I watched the film on Netflix where it's streaming in the Telugu version with a whole live watch along. And again I saw the film in Hindi with my family. So after watching twice, there's a lot I have to talk about. Now I can easily say that this film is meant to be watched in a theater with the whole community. It's meant to be experienced in that atmosphere, which is not the same with OTT. The film is long, it's quite long, 2 hours 51 minutes, and you definitely feel it having seen it twice. But the thing is, there's nothing extra or fluff in the film. You cannot really cut out anything because everything is there by design. A longer film actually works better in a theater because of that environment. It keeps you engaged and you actually like watching a 3 hour long film, spending that much money on it. You feel it's worth your money, and there's no portion in the film which feels bored. But when you're watching at home, there are so many distractions that it definitely impacts the viewing experience. But what makes it still a good watch is the hero of the film, the writing. It is so detailed, it is so clear. The what, the why, the how, everything is so well planned. There's not a single moment that is wasted. It is so efficient. Everything that is set up is paid off. There are no loose ends. The whole concept that the hero will fight only on Saturday, it's so well pulled off. The explanation and motive behind it works. There are so many clever moments they create with this concept that it comes into the play in the narrative. It's not wasted. They utilize it really well. The characters are written so well. Their motivations are so clear. What they want, what is their arc in the film, what are they supposed to learn by the end. And overall, the film is so progressive. Our hero is strong, but he is so vulnerable too. He faces consequences for his actions. All the things he do in the name of justice, in return his family suffers from it. And the film is actually about anger management. It's about the unwanted violence that is committed. The film says that that's not the answer. It's against it. And that is so refreshing. Most massy action films is all about the action, how cool it is. But this film, being that, is talking against it. It talks about when the action should be used, what is the right time. It's against the fear. It's about showing courage. It's about inspiring people to fight for themselves. And throughout the film, they stick to this idea. It's not just there to preach the audience and then do anything you want. At each and every point, they solidify this idea. And the actual message of the film is that no hero, no savior will come to save you. You have to fight your own battles. And that is so lovely. Even the way the villain is written, he's just like the hero, but without control. The one who gives into his anger and he actually hurts others. The writing for them is done so well. They are comical, but they induce fear too. And I feel the actors bring a lot. S.J. Surya and Murli Sharma, they really walk that fine line of the character becoming caricaturish, but they never go that side. Even the female characters, be it the mom who's always strong, the female lead who's just not there to be a love interest for the hero. She has her own part to play in this plot. She's also a voice of reasoning. And if you really notice, the whole narrative is so complex. We have Surya the hero, his whole anger management and the concept of just fighting on Saturdays with the villains he make on the way, plus the lost love of his childhood, how that comes back, plus the villain in S.J. Surya, plus the subplot he has. And all of this comes together and blends so well. Just wow. And that's why the length of the film makes sense. But I do feel that they tried too many things within the same film. They did deliver, but maybe they could have saved some of it for a sequel and making this first movie more focused between fewer characters. But again, this is just a choice they could have made. They went with giving a full-on experience to the audience, and that's why I call it a theater film. It's a full package. Now technically, I really like some of the camera work, the lighting they did, the color, especially the red through the smoke. They created so many cool shots which are praiseworthy. But I felt the action was weak to the standards we expect from a film like this. I felt the execution was quite average. They utilized every tool they could, the slow motion, the wind coming. Most of the action design is about throwing a person and break something or throw a thing at a person. In many action scenes, a lot of camera shake is added. There are a lot of cuts which kind of throws you off. And even the sound design I saw in OTT, I don't know if it was the same in theater or not, but it was off. Sometimes the punch was happening, then the sound came. Sometimes sound came before the punch. At many moments, the impact was missing. There were some moments which the impact was there and it actually felt good, but it wasn't consistent. But I also think the problem is that the action design is good, but it's pale in comparison to the writing of the film. The way the whole film is written, it is so stellar. Like the writing to reach to the action point and the writing after the action point is so good, but that action point is not that strong. It's not, giving you too much higher emotion. They tried their best. There are cool cool moments, but it doesn't leave you with impact. And thinking about this movie, I was wondering which are the sequences which are stayed in my head. And I cannot recollect many. But some other mass films like a RRR or a Bahubali or a KGF, they create these mass moments which are so epic that it stay back with you. That you feel like watching them again and again. But with this film, it's a smart writing that has stayed back. Oh, that clever moment, the clever writing there, how they brought something back. The writing moments were the standout. There's always a point to make things between the hero and the villain personal so that the stakes are more high. So that when the hero takes a retribution, you feel so satisfied. And this film does that. It makes it personal. But how brutal the villain is, how bad he is, when the hero takes him down, it's not as brutal. It's not as satisfying. But the problem is the whole point of the film, the message, that it's not about the violence. And that becomes a big conflict here. The film is written in a way that the action is not supposed to be the thing you take away. The point is not to make violence and action attractive. So, in a way, it's like a paradox. I was thinking maybe if the film had gone with a serious tone in that vigilante area where he actually needs to hide his identity, there are more serious ramifications. Maybe in that context it would have worked. But again, the choice for them was to make it more comedy, go with that tone. And even that really works well. So, this is not a flaw at all of the film. It's a choice that they made. There are actually so many funny moments. You laugh out loud. You can check it when the reaction comes out. At the end, the question is, what is good mass? And I feel it's the balance of good writing plus the visual intensity plus emotion. And all of them have to be in sync. It cannot be one more than the other. For this film, I felt the writing was just top notch, but the visual intensity and the emotions were, left behind. When in anger, the hero hits the villain or the bad guys, I need to feel something. It should look epic. And the build up to it has to be really good. And that's when everything comes together. But yet again, Nani is pushing the boundaries with his work. I'm always looking forward to what he's working on next because he's always trying to do something different. He's trying to push that boundary of a mainstream Telugu film and he keeps surprising me. And I hope he keeps doing that. Telugu cinema is always leading in the pan-India genre and most people know about the big films, but there are some hidden gems not everyone talk about from Telugu, which I have actually talked about in this video, so do check it out. What do you think? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. What is good mass for you? Let me know that and I will see you next time.